Welcome to the How to Write a Book podcast, the show that helps you plan, write, and publish your book, even if you're a beginner or just feel like one. Now, for your host, she's written over a dozen books and helps others bring their books to life. Here she is, Maciel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. What is up, my friends? You guys. Yes, it's been a minute, hasn't it? Y'all, there has been so much going on. I believe it's been several weeks since I jumped on here, and I do apologize, my dear friend. You are loved and you are awesome, and I hope you're still writing. But the good news is that I haven't forgot about you, and I've been thinking about you every day. I really have, and I've been creating more topics, and I have some interviews lined up that I believe you are going to love. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. For example, one of my clients will be on the show. I'm so excited, you guys, because this will be the first time that I bring on a client as well as somebody who I adore and love. Well, I adore my clients, but also in addition to that, I'm going to be having somebody who I adore and just totally love and have just such inspiration. She's also going to be on my podcast. And then an author who I admire, who I read her books and I absorb all her wisdom, also on the show. Y'all, I'm so excited. There's just so many good stuff happening, and I'm really excited to share these podcast interviews, get these people on the show, really just spread this message of yes, you can do it too. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. This is literally going to be a super short episode. And the reason for that is because I'm still in transition of things, but I will give you a little bit of an update. Okay. So in the past couple of months, you guys, I have shared this on the show, but I just kind of want to touch on it a little bit. The How to Write a Book podcast is part of something bigger. It's not just about writing a book. It's about creating stories. It's about being a storyteller. If you follow, oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking, you guys. Wow. Okay. Well, you guys will help me with this, right? So, Sean Platt, Johnny B. Truant, David Wright, their show, I believe, is self-publishing. Y'all, I'm blanking. Okay, but please let me know either through Instagram or Facebook what their show is called. I love them. They're great. I've actually been to one of their conferences. They're awesome. They have a bigger empire, right? They have this dream that's bigger than that. And so this show is part of that dream. And so for the past couple of months, I have been on that train of making that dream a reality. So when I say the dream, it's not just about books, it's about storytelling and storytelling in different mediums. But of course, for me, and I believe for people you're like me, it all starts with the written word. We have to write it down. And even as I jump into, you guys, the production industry, because that's where I am now. And it is so exciting, you guys. Oh, I'm actually inside. It is so great. So I've been working here for a few months. It has been so awesome. I'm so blessed meeting people. Y'all, people who I was like, oh my gosh, that's that person. And you wouldn't know who this person is. And I was just like, oh my gosh, don't freeze up. Don't freeze up. Don't freeze up. Oh, I froze. Okay, well, there they go. It's a dream come true. It is so amazing. So that being said, because that's so much fun, it's all part of the bigger picture, and it's all part of, when you take that idea, you have an idea and you want to see it grow. And this is something that's actually current to right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard, but anybody who's maybe near my generation, Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? When I was a kid back in the day. Speaking of, y'all, I celebrated my 31st birthday. Yes. Thank you so much for saying happy birthday. I appreciate it. It was definitely a memorable one. Y'all, I got sick on that day. It was, because we did an overnight shoot, and I did not prepare my body for that. And the next day, which was my birthday, no good. But anyways, made up for it later. Had a really great day. But anyways, so going back to Avatar: The Last Airbender, I know if you're like me, you loved the show, loved the universe, and then there was the Nickelodeon movie, and it was like, whoa, that's terrible. And then they had this rumor about they were going to create Avatar again, and we were all excited. And then there was the rumor that said, nope, they're not going to do it again, and we're like, oh no. And then there was the other rumor that said, yes, they will. And so apparently what happened, now you can find this on YouTube, so I'm kind of citing this off of some YouTubers who are really diving deep into this, and go check them out. It's awesome. Apparently, when the creators of Avatar had been given that first opportunity after the Nickelodeon fiasco. I love Nickelodeon, you guys. Anybody from Nick listening? I love Nick. I totally grew up on Nick. we can all agree that movie was, oy, 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 oy. Okay, but anyways, moving on. Thank you for all you do. So after that, they had an opportunity to make, a whole Netflix show, right? But apparently, then they were given an opportunity to go beyond that, to make a universe. We're talking like world. They have an opportunity to make this go for generations. And as this one YouTuber said, he said, in other words, our children and our great-grandchildren could be watching new Avatar episodes. And that's my mind being blown. What? Yes! Yes, I love it. So anyways, on that same gravy train that we've got going on here, that's exactly what's been going on. So I have been MIA because I've been working on a different side of what this empire is looking like. And I'm very excited for what's going to be happening in the future. But of course, the podcast got pushed to the wayside so I can make room for that. And now that I'm adjusting, I'm getting back on my feet. Here we are. We're coming back in again. So what do I want to say to you, dear writer? If you have not written, don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. You all know I'm all about like, hey, don't beat yourself up. Why is that? Because you could totally beat yourself up. You can David Goggins it, which I love David Goggins. He's so great, and you can really be like, well, I suck in writing. But you know what? For me, that I never come back to writing if I'm beating myself up. So, forgive yourself. It's in the past and keep going. However, I will also say that in the past 3 months, I've definitely had some personal family tragedies happen. And y'all, we touched on this in a different episode. My biggest writing mistake or my biggest writing failure was not finishing books. Kind of like, I'm like, okay, here they are for the pre-order. There you go. And they were messy and sloppy. And I knew I could have done better, but it was like, it was a form of self-sabotage. And there's still some books I need to get back to. For sake of time, I haven't gotten to them, but I will get to them. And at the time, you guys, I thought, okay, this is my biggest writing mistake. It's so embarrassing, but you all, now I really know my biggest writing mistake is, and I will definitely touch on this in a different episode. It has to do with somebody near and dear to me, but I'm probably not emotionally ready for this, so I'll leave it for a different time. However, what I will say is that the pain of embarrassment, it hurts, but the pain of regret is so much worse. So much worse. I realize that now. And the bad thing about that is that I can never go back and give this person the physical copy. That is over. They are now gone. And knowing that and feeling that absence of saying, like, it's not just, hey, I will get it to them next week. No, it's like, that's it. My chance was over. That pain, y'all, I never want you to feel that pain. The pain of embarrassment, the pain of bad reviews, the pain of thinking, oh shoot, I have a pre-order and I have to do this, and it sucks, but I have to publish it because of the pre-order. All of that, it's uncomfortable, but don't do what I did and wait to give somebody a copy of your book, and now I'll never have that chance. So all in all, to say, I now know what the biggest writing regret is. And I'm working on it now that I'm like, wow, okay, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I'm saying this to you as a friend, as a writer, like, go ahead and write that book, because at the end of it, the pain that you feel from that discomfort of writing will still be worth it, because you're going to give it to that person who you've always wanted to give it to. You're going to sign that copy, or you're going to have that reader come up to you and say, you changed my life. I love your book. So I know it's not really a positive note. However, let's flip it on its side. If you have been writing, yay, way to go. Keep going. One of the things I want to stress here is that if you're kind of stalled in your writing, try a different writing approach. One of the things that it took me several weeks to kind of jump back in, and I realized that I was like, oh my gosh, like, where I have this outline for this next book, but I'm stuck. I feel like this kind of writer's block. And y'all know I don't believe in writer's block, because as a professional writer, you can't have writer's block because then you don't get paid. But it was like, okay, well, I'm stuck. Clearly I'm stuck. What do I do? And so actually I tried writing differently. So instead of me trying to be very detailed, I instead told myself the story in a very brief way. And I said, here's the story, blah. And actually I ended up getting a really good groove going. I had a lot of fun. I actually had some surprises within my notes. It was tons of fun. And I got a really big word count out of it. And also, Side note, if I have cussed in this episode, I deeply apologize. Getting my reins back in after being out of the podcasting for a minute. So I apologize. Thank you so much. My curse words, bowing an apology. So, if you are stuck like I was, try writing a little bit different, try light notes, try some world building, maybe some character descriptions. Maybe you want to pick an animal, like an animal from your world that you're like, I'd really love to dive into this weird, like cat-winged dinosaur that I saw in my visions. So go for it and find something that's going to ignite you and spark you. And don't feel like a failure if you're like, oh, I'm not actually writing. You are writing. Because a lot of the worlds that we love, it's world building, Avatar, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, it's all world building that has to get built at some time. So don't feel as if you're wasting your time. All right, y'all. Hey, dear writer, you are doing amazing. Keep on writing. Remember, somebody needs to see your work. Somebody needs to get the book in your hands. Don't do what I did. We'll talk about that in a different episode, my dear friend. And until I talk to you again, which should be soon, keep going. Have your goals. If you want to reach me, I'm still getting used to the whole social media thing. So if I don't answer on Instagram or Facebook, I apologize. The easiest thing you can do to reach me is Maciel at blackheartedstudios.com. That's MASSIEL at blackheartedstudios.com. And somebody asked me, actually, they said, what's Blackhearted Story Studios? So when I was growing up, I wrote my own little comics and books like we all do, and I named it Blackhearted Story Studios because I felt like, as a teen, angst, black-hearted was like described me. And when I created my LLC, it seemed fitting to say this is where my imagination has come from. Therefore, I will give the name of my imagination. All right, y'all, dear writer, go out there, write that book, write a sentence, write a paragraph, write about that crazy animal. That's your prompt for today. Write about a crazy animal within your world. And, go get it. Remember that your words are meant to be seen. Thank you so much, writer, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Hey there, writer. Thank you for listening to the How to Write a Book podcast with your host, Maciel Valenzuela. If you like the show, we'd be happy if you left a review. For more information on writing and the writer's life, go to www.themaciel.com. That's www.themassiel.com. We'll see you on the other side.